Hello, and welcome to Digging Cincinnati History's how-to videos. Today we're going to cover navigating the auditor's website. To find your home's ancestors in Hamilton County, Ohio, the first place to start is the Hamilton County Auditor's website. This site holds many keys to unlocking the mysteries of your home. So we're going to get started today over here on the left-hand side of the screen at the Property Search button and click there. This takes us to the Search by Street Address screen. There are also other choices to search by over here on the left-hand side of the screen. You could search by parcel ID or by owner, but today I'm going to use the Search by Street Address. If you know the exact street address you're going to search, you can put it in the first box in the low range. If you're going to search a number of street addresses on the same street, you can put in a low range and a high range. So I'm going to search a street address today, and I'm just going to put it in the first box. You can enter a street direction. It's not required. That would be your north, south, east, or west. And what is required is a street name. Now you can enter the first few letters of a street name. You can put in the entire street name. If you're not sure how to spell it, you can come down here to the street listings. So I'm going to put in the street name that I'm researching today, and then I'm going to click the Go button. This is going to take us to the Parcel Information Summary screen. There's some information on here that's very important to us, but let's kind of go over what is contained on this screen. Up here we have our parcel ID. That is the number that the auditor uses to keep track of your property, and the address. Here we have some information on the tax district. So this one is within the city of Cincinnati. The school district, what kind of property this is. This is a single family home. The square footage, the size of the lot in acreage, and what neighborhood or appraisal area this property is in. This one is in East Walnut Hills. Over here is our first piece of information we want to record. It is the year built. Now this date is a good start when you're looking at your property, but it's not always accurate, especially if the building was built before 1900. Sometimes the date that's shown here reflects the last major renovation or an addition to the building, but it is a good general guide, but you want to verify it with other resources as you research your property. For this home, by looking at this picture here on the right-hand side of the screen, this year built date seems pretty good based on the architectural style of this home. There is some other information here as far as the total rooms, the number of bedrooms and bathrooms. So now that we've recorded our year build date either by copying and pasting it into a Word document or by writing it in a notebook, we're going to come over here to the property information. And I'm going to select that and copy and paste it into a Word document, or again, I'm going to write it down. This information is very important. This is what is considered your legal description of your property, and it is information that you would use if you wanted to further research your property at the Hamilton County Recorder's Office by searching the deeds and mortgages. So for this property, we can note that it is in the Emma R. Dexter subdivision, and this tells us the lot size, and that it is an irregular lot size, which means it doesn't have a perfectly rectangular shape, and that it was part of the lots of 9 and 10 of this original subdivision. So all that information is very important, and you want to record that. If we scroll further down here on the screen, we can see some information on sales, some information that the auditor uses for tax purposes, and over here we can see the assessment of the property based on the auditor's assessments and the annual taxes for this property as well. All right, our next piece of information we want to track down is here underneath the image choice on this menu on the left-hand side of the screen. So I'm going to click there, and it's going to bring up an image of the property. Now I'm going to scroll down just a little bit so we can see a little bit more of this image. And here we can see this photo was taken in 2008. If I come up here to this top part, this is called the left image. And here it shows that this is the most current photo that the auditor has for this property. Now, the most current photos usually range from between 2008 to the present. The 2008 photos are watermarked with the date at the bottom, but the most current photos not always have a date on them. So just keep that in mind. If you want to either save this photo or copy and paste it into a Word document, and you can do that by using your mouse and clicking on the right mouse button to bring up the menu. Now this will bring up a menu. It may be different depending on what web browser you're using. I'm using Google Chrome today, so this is my menu choice, but yours might be a little different. So if you would like to save this image to your computer, you can choose this selection here, or you can copy it and it will copy to your computer's clipboard, and then you could go and paste that into a Word document or whatever you're using to keep track of your property's information. All right, I'm going to come back up here to the left image menu, and we're going to click on this drop-down menu to see what other choices we have here. We can see that there are also photos from 2005. When you click to choose one, you have to click on the Go button in order for it to move to the next photo. And here we can see an image from 2005. Now you can click on the image to view it in full size. So I'm going to do that here, and we'll see that the image comes up a little larger. And again, we can right click and save this image or copy it. I'm going to come back up here again, and we can see there's another photo choice here from between 1999 and 2003. Sometimes they're a little before 1999, but they're somewhere within that range. And again, we can see an image here, and we can tell that this image is a little bit more fuzzy because our photo technology has improved so much since this time. All right, let's go back up here to the left image menu again and see what other choices we have. This property has an ownership card attached to it, and I'm going to choose that one. Not all properties have ownership cards, especially if they've been subdivided into condominiums, but most properties I have researched do have one. So I'm going to choose that and click on Go. And this is a very important piece of information. It comes up kind of small usually on the first selection, but again, we can click on it one time with the left mouse button, and that will make it enlarged so that we can read this information a little more clearly. Now, again, we can right click on this card to save it or copy it, and I do recommend that. But let's go over what is contained in the ownership card. Here we can see evaluation of the property over time at the bottom. This is what the auditor had valued the property at so that the taxes could be determined. Over here in this corner, we can see a little sketch of the property as it was laid out on the map. And here is our most important information we're going to cover here. Whoops, excuse me, here at the top part of my screen. And here we can see owners. From starting here, I'm starting at the bottom of the card here, from 1991 going backwards in time. Here we have 1948, and if we come over here to the left side of the card, this is the owner prior to 1948. Now this is usually sometime between 1939 until this present time. It does vary depending on your ownership card, so pay attention to the dates that you see here. This also shows a little legal description, just like the first screen did. This is the property information, but it's good to note here that this one had some changes to it. So we can see that here that the lot size had been scratched out and a new lot size was written here at the bottom. Sometimes you'll note a street name change also on these cards, but just pay attention to these little details that are included in the ownership card. So here, just from this little piece of information, we now have owners that goes back more than 50 years just from one piece of information from the auditor's website. All right, I'm going to scroll back up just a little bit here so we can see the full screen, and I'm going to come over to the menu again on the left-hand side, and I'm going to choose Transfer. Now this shows the transfer history. It does pick up some of that information from the ownership card, but it also includes any more recent transfers that occurred from 1991 to the present. So here, again, I can select this information by using my left mouse button, excuse me, and just clicking and dragging down and highlighting the whole screen. And you can, once it's highlighted to a different color, you can use your right mouse button to copy this, and then you could paste it into a Word document. Or you could just write this down in your notebook to keep track of the property information. Let's see what else we can find here on the auditor's site that might be useful. I'm going to come over here again to the menu on the left and choose residential. This just gives us some more details about the property as far as what kind of heating, air conditioning, number of stories, just some more information that's interesting and useful to you regarding your property. Again, I'm going to come to the left-hand side of the screen and we're going to choose improvements. The Improvements tab shows us information on any changes that have happened to the exterior of the property. Usually it doesn't show anything on the base of the property, but anything that may have been added. So here we can see some porches and decks. Now these may have been, the porches may have been original to the property, but they're outside of the main structure. So that's what is shown on the Improvements tab. Also, we see down here that there is a detached frame garage, and if we come all the way over to the right hand side of the screen, we can see that this was built in 1992. So if there's a more recent improvement to the property, it will show on this tab. So I'm going to return to our summary to wrap up here. I hope that this video has been useful for you to see what information is available at the Hamilton County Auditor's website. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share my videos so others can also help find their home's ancestors. I hope you've enjoyed this video today. Come back for more. Thanks. Bye-bye.